Everyone tells you that fish is good for your health. Magazines and nutrition experts keep saying fish helps your heart and brain. But here is something most people do not know. 6 popular fish contain mercury levels so high that they can seriously damage your body as you age. The FDA has tested thousands of fish samples over the past 30 years. Their data shows mercury concentrations that will shock you. Some fish that restaurants serve as healthy options contain more than 10 times the safe mercury limit. Your body changes as you get older. Your liver and kidneys work less efficiently at removing harmful substances from your blood. This means mercury from contaminated fish stays in your system much longer and causes more damage. These are critical senior nutrition mistakes to avoid. Making the wrong choices can affect your brain function and memory for years to come. Today I will count down the 6 most dangerous fish, starting with number 6, which has the least mercury, all the way to number 1 with the highest levels. Fish number 6 is grouper, and it contains 0.448 parts per million of mercury. That might not sound like much, but it is actually dangerous for seniors who eat fish regularly. Most people think grouper is a safe choice because it tastes mild and does not have a strong fishy flavor. Restaurants love to serve grouper because it appeals to people who usually avoid fish. The white flaky meat looks clean and healthy on the plate. Many seniors choose grouper specifically because it does not taste like other fish. This makes grouper one of the most commonly ordered fish by people who should actually avoid it completely. Grouper fish live a very long time, sometimes over 40 years. They spend decades hiding in coral reefs and rocky areas, waiting for smaller fish to swim by. Every fish they eat during those 40 years contains some mercury. All that mercury builds up in the grouper muscle tissue and never goes away. Your digestive system works differently as you get older. Your stomach produces less acid than it used to, which actually makes your body absorb more mercury from fish. This means eating grouper now affects you more than it would have when you were younger. Different types of grouper all contain too much mercury for regular eating. Black grouper, red grouper, and gag grouper all have mercury levels that exceed safe limits for seniors. The location where they were caught does not matter much either. Mercury from grouper can cause tingling in your hands and feet. You might notice your handwriting becomes shaky or that you have trouble picking up small objects like coins or buttons. These symptoms often get blamed on normal aging, but mercury could be the real cause. Restaurants usually clearly label grouper on their menus because they charge premium prices for it. However, some places call it local whitefish or fresh catch without mentioning the species name. Next, let me tell you about fish number 5, which contains even more mercury than grouper. Fish number 5 is orange roughy, which has 0.571 parts per million of mercury. This fish beats grouper for mercury content, but most people have never heard of it. Grocery stores often sell orange roughy under fake names like deep sea fish or ocean fresh fillets to hide what you are really buying. Orange roughy lives longer than almost any other fish you can eat. Some of these fish reach 100 years old or more. Think about that for a moment. The orange roughy in your freezer might have been swimming in the ocean since the 1920s, collecting mercury for an entire century. These ancient fish spend their whole lives on the ocean floor, where mercury settles and concentrates. Mercury sinks down from polluted surface waters and stays trapped in deep ocean sediments. Orange roughy feed on bottom-dwelling creatures that live in this mercury-rich environment their entire extra-long lives. Your kidneys bear the burden of filtering mercury from your blood. As you age, kidney function naturally declines, making it harder to remove toxins like mercury. When you eat orange roughy, you force your already struggling kidneys to work overtime trying to clean mercury from your system. Mercury damage to kidneys happens slowly and quietly. You might feel more tired than usual or notice swelling in your legs and ankles. These early warning signs often get dismissed as normal aging complaints, but mercury poisoning could be attacking your kidney function. Frozen orange Ruffy packages rarely mention mercury risk. Instead, they show happy families enjoying fish dinners, giving no hint about the toxic metal inside. The marketing focuses on words like premium and gourmet while hiding the mercury dangers. Always read the small print on frozen fish packages. Look for the actual species name, not marketing terms. If a package says white fish fillets without naming the specific fish, put it back and choose something else. Coming up next is fish number 4, which popular sushi restaurants serve every single day. Fish number 4 is big eye tuna, containing 0.689 parts per million of mercury. Sushi restaurants serve this fish as premium sashimi and expensive tuna rolls. Many people think eating raw fish is healthier than cooked fish, but big eye tuna delivers a concentrated mercury dose with every bite. Big eye tuna swim in deep ocean waters for up to 15 years, constantly hunting smaller contaminated fish. They travel thousands of miles through mercury-polluted seas during their lifetime. Unlike other fish that stay in one area, big eye tuna collect mercury from multiple contaminated regions around the world. Raw fish presents extra dangers for seniors because your immune system cannot fight bacteria as effectively as before. But mercury poses a bigger threat than food poisoning. When you eat raw big eye tuna, you get the full mercury load without any cooking process that might reduce other harmful compounds. Your nervous system becomes more vulnerable to mercury damage as you age. The protective barriers around your nerves weaken over time, allowing mercury to penetrate and cause permanent harm. Mercury targets nerve pathways that control movement, balance, and memory formation. Memory problems from mercury exposure start subtly. You might forget where you placed common items or have trouble recalling names of people you know well. These early symptoms often get mistaken for normal memory lapses, but mercury could be destroying brain cells. Sushi restaurant portions amplify the mercury risk. A typical sushi dinner includes multiple pieces of big eye tuna, giving you several times the safe mercury exposure in one meal. Restaurants also charge premium prices that make people feel like they are making a luxury health choice. Skipjack tuna, used in canned light tuna, offers a much safer alternative. Skipjack lives only 2 to 3 years and contains roughly 70% less mercury than big eye tuna. You get identical protein and omega-3 benefits without risking mercury poisoning. Fish number 3 on our countdown might be hiding in your kitchen right now under a misleading name. Fish number 3 is king mackerel, which contains 0.730 parts per million of mercury. This creates major confusion because many people mix up king mackerel with regular Atlantic mackerel. Atlantic mackerel is actually safe to eat, but king mackerel is dangerous. Fish markets and restaurants often just say mackerel without telling you which type. King mackerel grow much larger than their safe cousins. These predatory fish can reach 5 feet long and live over 20 years in warm ocean waters. They spend their entire lives aggressively hunting other fish that already contain mercury from polluted seas. The bigger the king mackerel, the more mercury it has accumulated. Mercury exposure weakens your immune system over time. Your body loses its ability to fight off infections and diseases as efficiently as before. This means you might get sick more often and take longer to recover from common illnesses like colds or flu. Price differences at fish markets usually give away which mackerel you are buying. King mackerel costs significantly more than Atlantic mackerel because of its size and perceived premium status. Some vendors do not even know the difference between the two types, which puts customers at risk. Mercury poisoning from king mackerel can cause persistent headaches that do not respond to normal pain medication. You might also notice your coordination getting worse, especially with detailed tasks like writing, typing, or using tools. Your heart becomes more vulnerable to mercury damage as you age. Mercury interferes with normal heart rhythm and blood pressure regulation. This poses serious risks if you already take heart medications or have cardiovascular problems. Atlantic mackerel provides identical nutritional benefits. That makes it over 14 times safer than king mackerel, while delivering the same omega-3 fatty acids and high-quality protein your body needs. The next fish on our countdown is served at expensive sushi bars around the world, but the mercury levels will shock you. Fish number 2 is swordfish, packing 0.995 parts per million of mercury. High-end restaurants feature thick swordfish steaks as signature dishes, charging premium prices that make diners feel sophisticated. The meaty texture resembles steak more than typical fish, which attracts people who want protein without a fishy taste. Swordfish earn their dangerous mercury levels through decades of ocean hunting. These massive predators live 15 to 20 years, growing to enormous sizes while constantly feeding on smaller, contaminated fish. Every meal they consume adds more mercury to their muscle tissue, creating a toxic buildup that never leaves their flesh. Mercury attacks your brain tissue in ways that become more severe with age. Your blood-brain barrier weakens over time, allowing more mercury to cross into brain cells where it causes permanent damage. Mercury binds to brain proteins and disrupts normal nerve signal transmission. Balance problems often develop first when mercury reaches critical levels in your brain. You might feel unsteady when walking or have trouble with coordination tasks like getting dressed or climbing stairs. These balance issues increase fall risk, which can be especially dangerous as you get older. Word-finding difficulties represent another early warning sign of mercury brain damage. You know what you want to say, but the right words do not come easily anymore. Conversations become frustrating when you cannot express thoughts clearly or quickly. Restaurant swordfish portions typically exceed recommended serving sizes by 2 or 3 times. A single restaurant swordfish steak might contain enough mercury to exceed safe weekly limits. Fancy presentation and high prices trick people into thinking they're making healthy choices. Cooking temperature has zero effect on mercury content in swordfish. The mercury chemically bonds with fish proteins and remains stable at any cooking temperature. Grilling, baking, broiling, or any other cooking method leaves mercury levels completely unchanged. Now we reach fish number 1, which contains the highest mercury levels of any commonly eaten fish in America. Fish number 1 is tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico, containing a shocking 1.123 parts per million of mercury. This represents the highest mercury concentration of any commonly served fish in restaurants across America. Most diners have never heard of tilefish because restaurants deliberately hide its identity behind vague menu descriptions. Servers typically describe tilefish as fresh catch of the day or simply white fish special. This deceptive marketing prevents customers from making informed choices about what they are actually eating. Restaurants know that listing tilefish would scare away customers, so they use appealing generic terms instead. Gulf of Mexico tilefish live over 30 years in deep waters where mercury pollution concentrates heavily. These bottom-dwelling fish spend decades feeding on contaminated smaller fish and crustaceans. The Gulf region contains some of the most mercury-polluted waters in North America due to industrial runoff and oil drilling activities. Atlantic tilefish contain significantly less mercury than Gulf varieties, but most restaurants do not specify which type they serve. Always ask your server exactly where the fish was caught. If they cannot provide specific location information, choose a completely different meal. Mercury poisoning from tilefish creates severe symptoms that often get misdiagnosed. Persistent fatigue that does not improve with rest frequently appears first. Memory loss becomes more pronounced, affecting both short-term and long-term recall abilities. Hand tremors develop during fine motor activities like writing or eating. Your aging body cannot eliminate tilefish mercury efficiently. Liver function naturally decreases each year, making it harder to process and remove heavy metals from your bloodstream. What might cause mild discomfort in younger people can trigger serious neurological problems in seniors. Cooking methods cannot reduce mercury content in tilefish by even the smallest amount. Mercury forms permanent chemical bonds with fish muscle proteins that remain stable at all cooking temperatures. Baking, frying, grilling, or steaming leaves mercury levels exactly the same. Now let me share the safe fish alternatives that provide excellent nutrition without any mercury. Safe fish choices for seniors include salmon, sardines, anchovies, and Atlantic mackerel. These fish live shorter lives and contain mercury levels below 0.50 parts per million. You get excellent omega-3 fatty acids and protein without risking mercury poisoning. Canned fish options provide convenient and affordable alternatives. Light tuna made from skipjack, canned salmon, and canned sardines all offer safe nutrition. The canning process does not add mercury, and these fish species naturally contain very low mercury levels. Smart shopping requires reading labels carefully and asking specific questions. Always check for the exact species name on packages. If restaurant servers cannot tell you exactly what fish they are serving and where it came from, choose chicken or other protein sources instead. Protecting your brain and nervous system requires avoiding these 6 dangerous fish completely. Share this information with friends and family members who need to know about mercury dangers. Subscribe for more important health information that can protect you from hidden toxins in everyday foods. If this information helped protect you from mercury poisoning, hit the like button. Leave a comment telling me which fish surprised you most on this list. Disclaimer: this information is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making significant dietary changes.